Welcome back, everyone, for more Santa Lucia. So last time we went through Bryan's first week because obviously it's a bit more Bryan focused currently, and I wanted to catch up on all of his options, all of his events, and things like that. And now we caught up, and now we are on his route. And yeah, I do have to apologize again. I know I keep saying I'm gonna be more consistent, but it's been about a month since I've last uploaded, and it's funny because I actually was like ready to like record and upload, but then OBS was like, nah. And I found out it's just because like I think I set it to like 60 FPS for a long time because I was like, well, I mean, that's where the transition is going, 60 FPS. But then I realized, well, everything just ends up looking choppy when I have it at 60 FPS, and half my recordings end up like falling apart because of it. And I have to understand that like it's just a visual novel, so like obviously I turned down the FPS and all that. So I guess if anybody really loves 60 FPS, I apologize. But we're gonna continue with 30 today. So yeah, let's jump right in. I'm pretty excited to see what his route has to offer. So let's hop right in. And that's about it for today, I think. In one motion, Chris closes the manual in front of him. I stretch out in my chair. Can we pack our things? It is like you. It is like you race to be the first to leave, Panda. I can't help it if I have a life and you don't, bro. Carlos stares at Bryan, but doesn't say anything. Kinda hard to argue on that one. Guys, can we stop fighting? I know exactly who could have diffused this situation quickly. Fresh Sem isn't going to be the same without Russell here to balance it all out. Not that I'm surprised he isn't here, after everything that happened. Don't forget we're meeting in the computer science building on Friday for our next big get-together. It hasn't been cancelled? As far as I know, no. The mentors are still in shock about Dr. Hernandez, but the faculty has assured us that it won't disrupt our plans. That would be the best, I think. Still, I feel like shrugging off something like this isn't right. Oh, that reminds me. Chris suddenly yelps, almost making me jump out of my chair. Goodness, I almost forgot to tell you. Some of you may have heard, but there's going to be a vigil for Dr. Hernandez starting in about a half hour. Where at? Arcadia Field. I was already going to attend. Mind if I join you? If you must. I notice Bryan is fidgeting in his seat beside me. Do we have to go? I'm not sure how comfortable I'd be going to that thing, considering who it's for. Well, attendance isn't required, but not showing up would be really disrespectful, huh? Sounds like the others are gonna go, so it'd be a pretty bad luck if I weren't there too. Sorry, I can't make it. Huh? Oh! Is everything alright, Bryan? I've got other plans, that's all. He pauses for a second before continuing. Besides, it's not like I knew her. Hell, I've only been a student for a week. I don't think it'd mean much for a freshman like me to show up. Well, alright then. Huh. Can't help but feel a little disappointed he's not going with us. Here I was psyching myself up for it, and him dipping out just crumbled all my resolve away. Goodbye. In a strange twist, Carlos ends up being the first one out the door. So much for that little Bryan call-out you made earlier, huh? Right. See you guys later. Bryan follows not long after. The other three start up a conversation about the vigil that I don't think I want to participate in. Bye, guys. I wave at them as I head for the exit. See you, Ben. Take care. See you later. Bye, mate. I leave the classroom and spot the panda making his way towards the end of the corridor. Well, there's my chance to get out of this whole vigil business. I quickly saunter after Bryan. Like he said, it's not like any of us knew Dr. Hernandez. It's not like a dead person's gonna care if we show up to anything about them. I finally managed to catch him right outside the building. Hey, Bryan! He turns around with a surprised look on his face. Yo, Ben, what are you doing here? Crap. What exactly am I doing here? Should have thought this through better. I just wanted to check in on you since you left in a hurry. Just can't get enough of me, huh? He smirks confidently as he says that. I know he's just teasing me, but he might not be wrong on that front. There's just something about him that makes me want to spend as much time with him as I can. Not that I'd ever let him know that, though. Hey, can a friend express perfectly platonic concern anymore? I'm fine, if that's what you're interested in knowing. I just can't say I care much about going to a vigil right now, especially for someone I've never met in person. I wish I could take the high road on this, but he's basically saying what I'm thinking. Yeah, I get you. Now's probably a good time to ask what he's up to. Where are you going, then? He shifts his stance slightly, clearly not expecting the sudden intrusion. I'm on my way to Coldwell Field. Diego is waiting for me there. Oh, sorry. I didn't realize. Don't worry, it's not what you think. Well, not yet anyway. I roll my eyes. What's the occasion then? We're thinking of joining a fraternity together. Today's the first day of rush week, and you gotta apply early if you want to spot in one of the good ones. We make our way onto the main path as Bryan explains the details of rush week. As the name implies, students have only 1 week to apply to their chosen fraternity. There's a lot of competition. Joining one's definitely not something I'd considered much, though. Just that one time when Bryan and Russell were debating it last week. Huh? Out of the corner of my eye, I spot a familiar red-headed figure standing with his back against the wall of the theater's alley. He lets out a puff of smoke from his mouth. He seems to be aware of us, since he's deliberately trying to avoid making eye contact with me. I feel my stomach turn as he turns his back to us and walks down the alley. It'll be alright, dude. Bryan seems to have noticed Russell, too. I know it sucks right now, but you gotta keep your mind off it. He pats my back in a comforting manner. Tell you what, why don't you come with me? Are you sure? I don't exactly fit the frat boy aesthetic. I recall what Russell had to say about fraternities. He didn't have the highest opinion of them. Then again, this could be a chance to spend more time with Bryan. You're kidding, right? I guarantee they'll be fighting over a pretty-faced twink like you. My face flushes red. Twink? He bursts into hearty laughter. Man, you should see your face. Relax, dude. I'm just messing with you. I fold my arms and pout. I'm not a twink, right? I'll take that as a compliment coming from a jock like you. His laughter dies down as he wipes a tear from the corner of his eye. That's the spirit. But seriously, you'll be fine. Who cares about stereotypes? I'm the gayest dude you know, and I could probably fold half the football team. How's that for a stereotype? I think about it for a second before replying. I think you're forgetting about Nate here. Oh shit, you're right. Okay, second gayest dude you know. Although between you and me. He leans in closer and speaks in a lower voice. I bet you $50 that Nate's a virgin who's never seen another dude's dick. What? Nah, no way. He's way too confident about it. I'd say he's probably getting hit on by every gay guy on campus. I mean, you hit on him all the time, right? He shrugs in response. Doesn't mean he puts out. I punch his arm lightly, grinning. You're terrible. Terribly right, you mean? He takes a second to think about a malicious glint before a malicious glint appears in his eyes. Hell, I'll raise it to $100 and say that our dear old big kitty is way more likely to have done it with a dude. You mean Carlos? I don't know about that one, man. Feels like you're projecting onto him or something. I wouldn't expect you to understand. I just feel it. If I had a superpower, I'd say it's known who's gay and hiding it. Don't they just call that a gaydar? He folds his arms behind his head. Yeah, but mine's better. It's never wrong. Besides, doesn't he just exude that repressed closeted Christian aura? I knew a few of those. And let me tell you, they didn't take much convincing once I made a proposition. I roll my eyes again and let out an exaggerated sigh. I hate to admit it, but talking about this is kind of fun. Nate's a very obvious choice, but Carlos... I'm guessing he's none of the above. Maybe work sexual. Reminds me of the times Eric and I would do this at the lunch table. We'd go around the room and debate whether or not a guy was secretly gay. This is really nostalgic to me. Guess I didn't realize how much I missed it. Though, the irony of what's going on hasn't escaped me either. I don't think your gaydar is as good as you think, Bryan. You still haven't figured me out. We take a turn. We take a turn close to the computer science building, and cross the bridge to the north side of campus. We spot Diego standing in the shade of an old oak tree, close to the path. As we approach, he calls out to Bryan. "Hey, over here, dick lips." Bryan breaks into a light jog to meet up with his friend. Once close enough, they pull each other close and pat the other's back. Well, well, if it isn't the queen of campus herself. Diego smirks back and fires off a rapid retort. You bet your ass it is, and you love it. I stand a fair distance away, waiting for them to get it all out of their system. It also means I own your ass, bitch, so kneel and kiss the ring. The only thing you own is the pounding you baked for last Friday, pussy. I stare off in the distance as their weird spat goes on for way too long. Forget what I said about Nate. This is the gayest thing ever. The gayest, most macho thing ever. Eventually they give each other a fist bump, satisfied with their greeting. I can't tell who won. Sorry. I didn't notice you over here, Brent. It's Ben, and don't worry about it. At least he remembered who I am, even if he couldn't recall my name. As for him, he's really hard to forget. Are you rushing for a fraternity too? I'm just gonna take a look around for now. I'm not sure how any of this works, honestly. Bryan and I are thinking about Russian Chi Pi Beta. Chi Pi Beta? Chi Pi Beta? I'm dumb. Can I ask why? They both look at each other with shit-eating grins. Oh boy. Let me guess. We heard they throw some pretty banging ragers. Exactly. And whoever gets in good with them is guaranteed a life of parties and wild, wild sex. I'm talking threesomes or... I'm gonna stop you right there, thanks. Yeesh. Is it really like that? Life is short, Ben. You gotta aim high and live for the journey. It's like I'm talking to the cast of Superbad, except gayer. Still, I can't deny how intrigued I am underneath it all. This isn't something I would have wanted to try doing on my own, but if these two are gonna rush, what's the harm in me joining them? Hell, what if we all get accepted into the same fraternity? What if what they're saying is the truth? Then this could be an eye-opening experience for me. Images of wild parties, naked men, and the promise of wild, scrumptious sex fill my mind. I can feel my internal temperature rising just considering it. Down, boy! Down! So, are you in? I can check it out, yeah. Sick. Let's go. He raises a fist in front of me, and for a second my brain doesn't fully register what he wants. I'm about to hold out a hand for a handshake, but thankfully I catch myself in time to bump his fist with my own. Whew. Saved it. We walk towards the other side of the field where there's an assortment of tents set up in front of the Greek life houses. It looks like there's already a sizable crowd gathering there. Along the way, the three of us chat about schoolwork. When Diego isn't acting like a stereotypical jock, he can be surprisingly smart. He mentions some of the work he had to do for his economics course. Much to my dismay, I could barely understand a word of it. He tries to reassure me it's something I'll understand if I ever take a class in it, but with my math skills, I'm not so sure about that. The tent for Chi Beta is conveniently set up right in front of their frat house. Ugh, thought we'd actually be able to go inside. No way, they'd never let random people inside. Yeah, that'd defeat the purpose of a frat in the first place. Makes sense, I guess. Didn't look like it from a distance, but the area is packed with people hopping between the various tents. Some of them are people much like Bryan and Diego. Athletic dudes looking for parties and good times. Others are more average looking. Like me, I suppose. I remember reading about how a lot of fraternities are a great addition to your curriculum vitae. So, Vital, or whatever, sorry. They open a lot of doors career-wise. Knowing this, I can see why all types of people would be interested in joining one. The alleged parties are definitely a big selling point, though. It takes a few minutes for the queue in front of the Chi Beta table to clear up. But we eventually reach the front of the line. Two guys are sitting at the table, most likely the fraternity members, scouting for potential recruits. It quickly dawns on me that I recognize one of them. Hey there! Are you three looking to apply? Isn't that one of the guys I overheard Chris talking to about Russell? I'm not so sure how I feel about this. That's what we're here for, yep. Perfect. Take a seat then. He motions to the chairs in front of him. I'm Blake, and the doofus next to me is Thomas. He points at the rabbit beside him with a smirk. Sup? We represent the Chi Beta fraternity here in USL. May I ask your name? Names? Bryan takes the initiative and replies before Diego and I can. Sure, I'm Bryan. The cat here is Ben, and the croc over there is Diego. I raise my hand when I hear my name, while Diego simply nods. Excellent. Nice to meet you all. So, how much do you guys know about Chi Beta? We took a look at one of your flyers, so we know the basics. Crap. There were flyers? Maybe coming out here on a whim wasn't such a great idea. Blake seems to notice my discomfort since his gaze focuses on me. What about you? I don't know a whole lot exactly. Bryan convinced me to give this whole rushing thing a try since it sounded kind of fun. This seems to work on him. He folds his arms and sits back on his chair, nodding. No problem. You wouldn't be the first guy who didn't do the research. Oof. Sounds like I'm pretty low tier candidate. We usually go over what we do here at the frat anyway. It's always better for pledges to know what they're getting into. I hope you are all aware of what rushing is, at least. I sink further into my chair as my ears fold back a little. I'm woefully underprepared for this. No worries, I love explaining it. Think of it as if you're trying to score a date with the frat itself. That's a strange analogy. We want to see if we're going to make a good match. Hopefully you can bring something cool to the table. Know what I'm saying? The rabbit sits up straight with when it's his turn to interject. If we like you, we'll let you hang out with the frat house and meet the other brothers. Make a good impression, and you got this thing in the bag. Of course. We've got some basic rules you'll need to respect, which should be pretty obvious. First, don't be a dick to others. Outside of basic respect, that also means we won't tolerate any speciesism, casual or otherwise. And we also crack down on homophobic assholes. There have been a few who came in expecting shit to be like Hollywood. You know, rich kids talking down to anyone slightly different from them. Now, I can't speak for any of the other frats, but a fair number of our brothers are openly gay, and if you insult any one of us, you insult all of us. Do I make myself clear? Blake's brow furrows as he stares at us, probably gauging our reaction. Sounds like there's been bad experiences with this stuff before. You won't have to worry about. You won't have anything to worry about from me. Bryan raises his hand in front of his chest. Same. Yeah, me too. Blake's expression relaxes almost immediately. Good. He's a lot nicer than I expected him to be, considering that brief impression I got of him earlier. He reminds me a lot of that other mentor, Sam. Thomas and Blake continue listing off a few more basic rules. Informed consent is non-negotiable, no smoking in the building, no fighting allowed. I can see why Bryan wants to join this frat in particular. They definitely seem to be, they seem a bit more open-minded than the straight jock fests you see in the movies. Finally, and this should go without saying, no drugs. Diego seems to have lost a bit of his chipper attitude thanks to the barrage of rules. But weed's fine, right? Blake sighs. Why does everyone ask that question? It may be legal to smoke in California, but not on campus. The school strictly prohibits the use of marijuana. Didn't you read the school handbook? Oh. He looks completely dejected at the denial. I wonder if he realizes he's also talking to a student mentor. Anyway, if the frat likes you by the end of the semester, you'll be offered a ticket. That means we want you in the frat, and it's up to you if you want to accept. Bryan takes the opportunity to speak up. Can I ask a question? Blake nods. Sure, go ahead. How often do you throw parties? I heard you guys throw some... wait, did I skip something? Sorry. Whoops. Sorry. Let me go to the history real quick, because I think I missed something real quick. Oh, never mind. I didn't miss anything. My bad. Or you guys threw some pretty crazy ones, and I'm dying to see for myself, if you know what I'm saying. Bryan and I would be great additions to the frat just on that basis. If there's one thing we know, it's how to party. Blake stays silent for a moment, staring at the two. Well, parties are a part of what makes fraternities appealing to some, I suppose. We have a committee who organizes them once or twice a month. Don't believe everything you hear about them, though. We do try to keep it in line. Bryan and Diego's grins grow wider. Ah, I see. Gotta keep them under wraps, huh? You don't have to worry. Our lips are sealed. What happens at the frat house stays at the frat house. Blake closes his eyes and rubs his forehead. Geez, these two aren't hiding what they're here for, huh? Bunch of horn dogs. Still, Blake doesn't seem too impressed with us right now. Not sure we'll even get inside the frat house at this rate, but I'm not helping our case much by staying silent. Not like I have much to add. I get it. Parties are hyped up as an essential part of fraternity life, but I'll take this opportunity to reiterate. Do not expect it to play out the way Hollywood portrays it. We take our academics very seriously. The main appeal of our fraternity is to build a wide and varied network of members to help you during and even after your college life. For example, several of our members have been able to find success in their journalism careers thanks to the connections they made in our fraternity. My ears perk up at the mention of my major. Really? I'm actually a journalism student myself. Blake turns his attention to me. Crap, why did I speak up? I took a test while I arrived at USL, and my results showed I would be well suited for a career in journalism. I would be interested in pursuing this further and talking about it with other members of the fraternity. Why am I so nervous? It's not like Blake is a faculty member or anything. Something about him just screams authority figure, though. To my surprise, he smiles. That's excellent to hear. He claps his hands together, his baritone voice reassuring me. Oh, his voice is baritone. My bad. I feel like I use, like, baritone voice a little too much on, like, bigger characters, like dudes who are, like, kind of jacked and stuff, so, like, I just wanted to do a different voice, but that's fine. We had a member who graduated not too long ago who was just like you. His test results oriented him towards journalism, which he took a liking to. Thanks to the fraternity, he was able to find work at WNC this past summer. That's a big relief, actually. I was afraid that because I hadn't declared a major before starting classes, I was on the road to inevitable failure. Blake waves a hand in front of him. Nah, you're totally fine. I'm also a mentor, so I deal with undeclared students all the time. Success is related to how dedicated you are to whatever you end up choosing. So if you're dedicated to journalism, you'll do great here. That's really cool. He smiles down at me, which gives me the confidence to sit up a bit straighter in my seat. Out of the corner of my eye, I see Thomas scribble down something on the paper in front of him. Wait, has he been taking notes this whole time? This burger really hits the spot. I can feel my anxiety wash away with every bite. Bryan and Diego sit across from me, next to each other. After our interview with Blake and Thomas, we checked out several of the other frats. They were all fairly similar to Chi Pi Beta, but a couple were a lot more traditional, to say the least. Bryan even insisted on stopping by some of the sorority tents to heckle the girls. He said it's all part of the experience or something, but I don't really get it. Even with all the activity, though, Bryan and Diego both seemed kind of deflated on the walk back. I guess the reality doesn't quite match the fantasy, huh, guys? Diego in particular seems to be the one hit the hardest. I don't know, man. It just doesn't seem worth the effort. I'm not stupid. It's not like I was expecting them to be open about how much they party, but if they're gonna make me jump through hoops for it... Bryan slaps the crocodile's back, trying his best to cheer his friend up. Bro, what are you even talking about? We're naturals. We were born for this. It shouldn't take any effort to just be ourselves, and you bet your ass we're exactly what they're looking for. He pulls Diego in closer with one arm. The crocodile doesn't seem to mind much. Man, these two are really close. Just stick with me and you can lay all the pipe you'd ever dream of. You don't want to miss out on the fun, right? His eyes widen briefly when I see Bryan's hand disappear beneath the table in front of Diego. Ugh, seriously? In public? Knowing these two, this probably isn't even the worst thing they've done like this. I do like having fun. My skin crawls when the crocodile returns the gesture. It's one thing to know where this is going on, but it's an entirely different thing to actually see it. I take a drink of my soda, not realizing I'm at the bottom of the cup already. Can't help feel but a little jealous. I clear my throat to remind them that I'm still here. Don't forget what Blake said, though. They turn their attention towards me, not the least bit embarrassed about how they were fondling each other in front of me and my burger. We have to make a good impression, and this isn't some Hollywood movie. If they think you guys are just here for the parties, they're not going to be impressed. They seem like they value academics a lot. So we'll need to take our schoolwork seriously too. My words seem to have an effect on Diego, but Bryan remains unconvinced. It'll be fine. Don't worry. Diego groans. Nah, the little guy's right. Little guy? This is too much work. I don't think I want that kind of complicated shit in my life right now. He gets up from his chair, taking his tray with him. Besides, I've already got a cum dump sitting right here if I need it, right? He winks at Bryan, who smirks back. Oh boy, here we go again. What part of Strictly Top don't you understand? Whatever. I knew you wouldn't put in the effort. It's okay though. I don't mind playing the field alone. Just means there's more for myself. I'll try to keep the old fuckboy crock in my thoughts though. Diego chuckles as he gathers everything onto his tray. As if you could forget the best dick your sorry mouth has ever sucked in your life. Don't flatter yourself. You don't even break the top 5. Diego flips off Bryan before departing. Fuck you, man. Take care. Love you too, fuck boy. We both watch Diego as he leaves the UC, his tail swaying left to right. I don't think I'll ever comprehend the relationship these two have. I turn back to face Bryan. His expression is a lot gloomier than I expected. Hey, it's alright. I'm sure he'll change his mind. Can't help but feel a pang of guilt. Part of me is happy Diego left. I definitely have a hard time saying anything whenever he's around. The two of them together have an overpowering chemistry. Nah, I know him pretty well. He's got a one-track mind. Once an idea's gone, he won't try to get it back. Ugh. Good job, Ben. Maybe if I hadn't said anything, Diego would have stayed. Well, I'm still here. I'm not in a rush for cheap high beta if you are. He looks at me. He looks up at me with a smile. Thanks, man. You're too cool. It's just that I had plans to do this whole party hard thing with Diego. I'm kind of bummed we won't get a chance to do it now. We gather everything on our food trays and throw it out before leaving the cafeteria. The sun is just beginning to set as we walk back to the dorm together. As far as I know, neither of us have anything to do after this. I could ask if he wants to hang out tonight, now that Diego's out of the picture. Cripes. Why am I such a jealous little bitch? First Karina, now Bryan. And why do I have to fall for Bryan out of everyone here? I mean, yeah, it makes sense. He's handsome, nice, playful. Every time we hang out, I have fun. He always makes me feel butterflies in my stomach. And I'm pretty sure he's a beast in bed, too. God, I wish I could just take him for a spin. Fuck. Why don't I ask him right now? I can picture it in my mind. We hang out at his place. We have a good time. One thing leads to another, and okay. I think I'm gonna call it a day. Huh? Oh shit. I didn't notice we already made it back to the dorms. No way I can build up the courage to ask him now. Here, let me get the door. I swipe my card, which unlocks the door for us. Oh well. It'd probably have been a mistake anyway. Bryan and I are just friends. I don't want to ruin that. Alright, I'll see you tomorrow at journalism class. Same. Take care. You too. With that, I watch him climb the steps up to the first floor and disappear down the hall. If only I wasn't such a coward. The day winds down to an end as I make my way back to the dorms. Classes came and went, with nothing exceptional happening. Just a regular day at a regular university. After how crazy the first week was, normal days feel almost wrong. Like something could go wrong at any time. Or that I'm due for something terrible to happen soon. It's just the anxiety talking. Nothing wrong nothing wrong happening. Here's hoping that frat thing goes well. Never thought I'd be interested in joining a frat, but after talking about it some more with Bryan today, I can't lie. I'm a bit excited. More than I thought I'd be, that's for sure. I hope Bryan isn't too disappointed Diego quit anymore. At least he has me, right? I may not be a buff croc, but I'm his friend, so that's gotta count for something. I enter the dorms and walk up the stairs to my room. It's all starting to become routine. The fresh air blows past me as I open the door. So refreshing. Stepping in, a slight thumping noise on the floor signals to me Zach's already back. A quick look inside the room reveals the dragon on his computer, immersed deep in a game he's playing. The tip of his large tail thumps rhythmically against the ground. The music in the game must be pretty catchy. I knock on the door loud enough for him to hear. Oh, hey Ben. Good to see you. Good to see you too. We both nod at each other, then he turns back to face the screen. While we haven't talked much to each other this week, we found a system that works well enough for the both of us. Zach's a quiet guy, and he's been having a hard time since the service trip. He took the death of the president a lot harder than I thought he would. But he seems to be trying to put it behind him. Seeing him like this right now makes everything seem practically normal. Well, as normal as things can get with him. Zach is a really unique individual. I drop my bag next to my desk and let myself fall back onto my bed. I pull out my phone. A little before 6 p.m., huh? Still have some homework to do. I immediately regret lying down. The bed is too comfortable for me to get up now. I decide to make the best out of the comfy prison I'm lying on. And by that, I of course mean wasting time browsing the internet on my phone. Waste time I did. It's pretty scary just how much the time can fly when you're scrolling past an endless stream of videos, images, memes, and all that pop culture junk food. Alright, Ben. It's been almost 30 minutes. It's way past time to do your homework. I force quit my browser, which takes me back to my home screen. I notice an app in the corner I haven't used in a while. In fact, I'm pretty sure I haven't touched it since I set it up. It's that dating app. Man, I completely forgot about it. Absent-mindedly, I press my finger on the icon. I'm pretty sure I made a profile, right? I chickened out of actually talking to anyone, but I definitely launched it at least once before I left Chicago. Wish I had Bryan or Diego's confidence. I'm kind of jealous of their ability to make sex and relations not a big deal, I guess. It's just natural to them. I wouldn't mind having someone I could have fun with like that. Not that there's many available candidates for me. Bryan would be ideal, but he's way out of my league. Plus, we're good friends right now, and I'm not sure if sex is something that can just add in without things changing forever. As for the other guys I know, I can't really see myself dating them. They're all good guys, but Nate's a bit too Nate for me to handle. I'm pretty confident Carlos is straight or work sexual. I unconsciously raised my eyes up to the figure clicking away at a computer game on the other side of the room. Zach is cute and all, but we're roommates. Hell, we're barely making it work as it is. I can't imagine adding sex into the equation would do. Besides, I highly doubt he'd be interested in it anyways. He's way too introverted, to the point where I have no clue what gender he's interested in. Probably safe to say he likes girls. With how he responded to Karina reaching out to him. I suppose that's why dating apps are so popular, right? Turning my attention back to the app, I noticed it finished loading. I quickly type in my email and password, then press login. No account registered to this email? The hell? I'm 99% sure I made an account 2 weeks ago. Maybe I forgot which password I used? No. Not that one either. Shit. I think I know what happened. In a fit of self-loathing for what I did, I neglected to validate the account. And since I never used it, they probably just deleted it. Damn it, Ben. Quit being such a spaz. Well, no time like the present, huh? I navigate back to the login screen, and this time I choose the register option. I'm faced with an assortment of required fields to complete. I think I remember some of the info I used last time. This shouldn't take too long. First off, the username. Damn. I really forgot what I used last time. God, I'm such an idiot, I swear. I certainly don't feel comfortable having my full name on display here. Time to come up with something new, I guess. Make it catchy. A catchy name should attract some attention, right? Something quick and snappy. How about catnap? The whole species plus word format is a bit of a tired trope, but I kind of like the sound of it. I'm a cat and I like to nap. I'm bad at this. Oh well, if it fits, it takes. Okay, what else? Some of these things I have no idea what they mean. Or I'm not sure I want to share publicly. I'll just try to fill out what I can. Physical info, huh? That's kind of shallow. Then again, look what I'm doing. Height and weight? Crap. I don't remember those exactly. I'll just estimate. It's not like they're gonna come down here and verify if my measurements are exact. I think I'm 5'9" and I'm like 170 pounds last I checked. I unconsciously pat my stomach. I've never been too body conscious, but having to write it down like that. Yeesh. I hope I'm not too small or anything. Age is easy. I'm 18. Next one is affiliations. What the hell does that mean? One quick swipe reveals a drop-down menu. Oh. It means that. Her sign. Feline. Daddy. I'm definitely not daddy. I guess I'll just go with feline. I put down the phone for a moment and crack my knuckles. Man, making a profile is hard work. Now I need to write a quick blurb to describe myself. Ugh, it's that playlist thing all over again. I really suck at this. How should I approach this? Be honest. Honesty is the best policy, right? I'll try and talk a bit about myself. Hey guys, I'm a new student at USL, currently single. That's technically a start. I tap my chin with the edge of my phone, thinking about what to write. First time on the app, feeling a bit lost, hoping someone will be able to show me the ropes. Maybe that's too candid. I don't want to make it sound like I'm vulnerable or anything. I erased most of what I typed. Looking for a friend. No. If you want to hang out, hit me up. Marginally better, I guess. I type up the rest of the sentence, making changes along the way. Hey guys, I'm a new student at USL, currently single. I'm trying something new, and this is my first time on this app. If you want to hang out, hit me up. That's serviceable. Doesn't sound too cringe-inducing or overly narcissistic. I think I'll go with that. Just one thing left on the form, and that's a profile picture. Ugh. Never liked taking pictures of myself. A quick scroll through my gallery shows just how barren it is. Most of the pictures of myself have Eric in them, and I decided it would be for the best to move them off my phone before I flew. I guess I could take a quick selfie. Be cute. A normal picture might be too boring. I should spice it up a bit. I try and strike a pose before angling my phone downward and snapping a quick pic. Thankfully, the flash wasn't on, otherwise that would have been really awkward to explain to Zach. I upload the picture and check. I stare at myself, winking and sticking my tongue out. This definitely looked better in my head. Should I take another one? Nah. If I start doing that, then I'll be here the whole night. I've got other things I need to do still, so this will have to do. And there we go. Profile is complete. That took way longer than I thought it would. Well, might as well browse around for a bit now that I'm in. I see a list of nearby users. A lot of nearby users. Most of them aren't too far either, ranging anywhere from 300 to 3,000 feet. Is there really that many gay guys on campus? This is insane. I flicked through a couple of profiles, heart thumping in my chest. I can't shake the feeling that I'm doing something I shouldn't be doing. I know it's perfectly normal and a ton of guys do it, but somehow my anxiety is going crazy right now. Reminds me of how I used to feel as a kid browsing gay porn. Half excited when I found something I liked, half scared to death my dad would burst in and find out. My dad's not here, and I'm sure none of my friends would care. Hell, most of them would probably be supportive. I steel my resolve and delve deeper into the profiles of the nearby guys. Flicking through countless profiles, my anxiety eventually passes. Instead, I'm overcome by my feline curiosity. There's something fascinating about peeking into all these people's lives. And the fact that I can just reach out and maybe set something up is so... I'm not sure how to describe the feeling. I've always been a pretty private guy, and I've never been publicly out. I don't really think about sex further than where I know I can get it, which was basically just Eric. But here, it feels almost normal for sex to be so freely available. Kind of like how I always see it in the movies or something. Well, not every profile is a shining pearl. I flicked through several with usernames like Hung Hearse, Tight Thighs, Head and Tail. It's pretty clear by the names what those guys are looking for. The profile pictures are on the spicy side too. They don't even feature their faces, just shots of their exposed abs or chest. Not that they are attractive or anything, but I'm not sure if I'm down for just sex. Don't knock it till you try it, Ben. You're here to do stuff you normally wouldn't do, right? I scroll past a few more profiles. Some of them do actually catch my eye. This gecko dude looks pretty damn cute, and his profile doesn't look overly sex-focused. And he's currently online. There's nothing stopping me from just shooting a message. Hey, how's it going? I can see it in my mind's eye, but... just can't bring myself to do it. I put my phone down on the bed, taking some time off of my busy schedule to stare at the ceiling. I wish I had the confidence Bryan has. I swear I've seen some of these dudes walking around campus. Like, I've talked to other gay dudes online before, but there was never a chance for a meetup. Here it's all too real. I get it, that's the point, but still. At any point, I could just send a message to one of these dudes, and if they're into me, it could turn into a hookup. I never tried that before, but the prospect is a lot scarier now than that it's actually a possibility. I pick up my phone and resume my browsing. Maybe this was a mistake. Yet another few profiles scroll past my phone's dim screen. Poet of the Foul, Blue Bear, Big Back, Ocean Man. Wait a second, back up. That one there. I stare at my phone, dumbfounded for what feels like a minute. Isn't that Bryan? Did you say something? Zach looks over his shoulder at me. His headset sitting on his desk now. No, sorry. Was just thinking out loud. He pauses for a moment before getting up, seemingly satisfied with my answer. Okay. He walks across the room and puts on his shoes. I'm gonna go pick up some snacks. I'll be right back. Alright. See you later. Bye. He nods as he closes the door, prompting me to nod back. He sure loves his snacks, huh? But he's gonna get those chocolate-filled donuts at the marketplace. They're expensive, but they're surprisingly worth it. I hear the lock turn and snap my attention back to my phone. Brian's profile sits there, his big dumb smile plastered on his profile picture. That's him, alright. I scroll up and down the page, taking in every little detail. While I know I shouldn't be surprised Brian has a profile on the app, I'm shocked I stumbled upon it so easily. I scan the page for more details. His height and weight match up what I imagined. He's a huge dude, especially compared to me. It says here his affiliations are Ursine, Bear, Jock, and Clean Cut. Yeah, sounds like Brian. My eyes drift around the page, eventually landing on his intro blurb. Looking for friendly dudes to kill time with. Casual fun is appreciated. Winky face. Straight to the point, huh? With his good looks, he could write anything in there, and I'm sure he'd still get tail. Speaking of, I wonder how much he actually gets. Knowing him, I wouldn't be surprised if he gets with a different dude every night. I seem more the kind to find a few steady friends he can get with whenever. The latter sounds more like the Brian I know, actually. I have a feeling he doesn't sleep with just anybody. Sorry, Ben, but I don't think you make the cuts. Especially when compared to someone like Diego. And now I bummed myself out again. Good job, Rivers. I slapped both my cheeks. No time for self-pity. You signed up for this service for a reason. I turned my attention back to Brian's profile. I stroll down further. I find a couple of images loading in a section labeled photos. One by one the pictures appear and I can just feel my body's heat rising. None of these I necessarily qualify as lewd, but most of them are definitely not safe for work. On one of them, Brian is shirtless, in what I assume in his dorm room. He's holding his phone angled down at his chest and abs, and with his other hand, he's holding his package through the fabric of his pants. Shit. That's actually kind of hot. Another picture has him playing volleyball on the beach. This one was clearly taken by someone else, since he's right about to slam the ball down over the net. His tank top and shorts lift high enough to get a good look at his pecs and thighs. Fuck. I can't help myself. My left hand slides down my crotch, fondling myself through my pants. The hormones clouding my mind betray a hint of guilt. Shouldn't be doing this. Brian is my friend. Besides, isn't this an invasion of privacy? He's the one who made those public, a voice whispers in my head. Slithers around my mind, taking hold of my brain, assuring me that I'm not doing anything wrong. It's not like it's hurting him, right? Plenty of guys have probably jacked off to those pictures. It's a logical thought, but one my clouded mind has trouble accepting. Can't shake this nagging feeling that I'm overstepping a boundary. A clicking sound interrupts my hormone-fueled trance. The sound of keys turning inside a lock. I scramble to get the pictures off my screen. I also have to quickly adjust myself so that Zach doesn't see anything strange. Good thing I didn't go too far. The door opens and Zach enters the room, smiling and holding a bag in his hand. Hey, I brought you back something too. I sit up in surprise. Oh, you didn't have to. I figured you might appreciate it. If you don't want it, I can always eat it here. He chuckles. It's pretty rare to see him like this. Thanks, man. Next time I'll buy you one, okay? He nods and hands me a donut. Yeah, I knew this is what he'd get. He sits back on his computer, puts his headphones back on, and munches down on his own donut. I follow suit, taking a big bite out of mine. It's the jelly-filled kind. Definitely apple jelly. Tastes amazing. Content, I lay back down on my bed and look back at my phone. It's still Brian's page, but the images are out of view. With one hand, I pick up the phone. Guess I can't figure out how I'm going to use this app another time. I guess I can figure out how I'm going to use this app another time. I'm just about to leave the page for good when something catches my attention at the top of the page. Something's not right. But I can't place it. And then it hits me. A red heart-shaped symbol burns itself into my retinas. Next to it, the word light hangs there like a threat. Fuck. You dumbass. You absolute dumbass. In my scramble, I accidentally liked Brian's page. I tap the heart furiously to make sure the like disappears. Can't believe something like that happened. I'm such a klutz. I make sure my inner panic isn't noticed by Zach. I don't think I'd be able to explain what's happening right now. Relax. Breathe. I'm sure everything's going to be fine. He most likely hasn't seen it. It's been a couple of minutes at most, and I'm pretty sure he's at practice right now. I removed it so there's no reason for him to be notified of it. Man, this whole dating app thing is giving me more anxiety than I thought it would. Am I really that big of a drama queen? I shut down the app and put my phone down. I'd hardly qualify this as a successful operation. I sent a total of 0 messages, didn't receive any, and the only thing I got out of it was a heart attack. Why did I even think this was a good idea? Starting up conversations, being the social butterfly, that was Eric's thing. Even Jess was the more outgoing of us siblings. I covered my eyes with my arm, letting out a sigh. At least I tried. I can try again tomorrow. And the day after. These things tend to take some time. I got carried away by the novelty of it all. But deep down, I knew I wouldn't be talking to anyone on the first day. Hell, probably not even the first week. The time will come. I just gotta keep building up the courage. I sit upright on my bed and check the time. Damn. It took me a little more than an hour and a half to do all that. I've got homework to do still. I should probably get to it before it's too late. I grab the half-eaten donut and shove it in my mouth before getting up. I gather the assorted books I need and sit down at the desk. Time to get to work. Where did I stop last time? I really hope Bryan didn't see that. Alright, and I'm going to save it here. Nope. Alright. Well, I'm going to save it here. So, this is kind of interesting. Alright, I mean, I kind of was expecting this kind of turn. There was a lot of talk about fraternities. So I kind of figured there was going to be a bit of a fraternity arc. I guess you could say. It is kind of cool how they kind of like were like, nope, this is not like Hollywood fraternity type of stuff, and it's kind of interesting to me. I mean, I've never been to a fraternity. I can't really tell how much of a partying thing that actually is, but it's kind of cool just to see that, like, you know, poor Diego and Bryan, they're like getting they're getting hyped over parties. And then they're like, oh no, by the way, we actually care about academics. Oh my gosh. But hey, at least we get an opportunity to get a little closer to Bryan. The Grindr thing was very relatable. But yeah, overall it was a really interesting episode. And I actually am kind of curious to see how, you know, Bryan's route is going to continue from here, because that's a big oof. The whole him hitting the heart on accident. Oh man. Who knows where this will go, but I am very curious. So next time, everyone, we'll be continuing. We'll be starting up September 14th, maybe do a couple more days, and go from there. So until next time, everyone, I'll see you around. Bye.